Clash Royale.
This is the second time this has happened, so I'm still not sure, but it does look like Game 3 is imminent. So we are going to commit to this one. Patience.
That was a nice transition.
Zest.
I like what you did with that one.
Game number 3. First game was so fast that we actually get 3 games here in our first opening set. So you guys get less commercials, more StarCraft. Tell your friends that this is why SSL is the best and get them in here. Game number 3, Patience versus Zest on Frozen Temple, coming up next.
Welcome to game number 3, guys. We're here on Frozen Temple. And up in the top left, in the red, winning that last one, it is Patience, the Afrika Freaks.
Yep, taking a game number 2. I'll see what the fans have to say about Patience. Saying, don't get too hung up on your mistakes. Let's make this comeback happen. And down here in the lower right half of the map, this is Zest. See what Dinduk, our fan, has to say to Zest. Can't wait to watch you win the Star League as well. Let's see you win both leagues, Zest. I assume the other one would be Pro League, as GSL is now out
the
of
GSL. I mean, because he's already won the GSL,
okay.
They want to see him win both leagues.
Okay, both leagues overall, not just in one season.
He actually does have a Pro League title, I guess you would call it, because he did win with KT in 2014.
That is true. Way back in the day. So no early probe shenanigans here, but we'll see it just be annoying, as probes are wont to do. And even though this is Asia and our title for this matchup is a land war, which usually is not good to pick in Asia, this is still a great matchup between these two players, and Zest now down a game that I did not expect him to lose so early on.
Yeah, for sure. It's been an interesting one. I think that game 2, it's kind of an anomaly. I mean, Zest did make a bunch of mistakes there to let Patience get back into the game. I feel like he should have just been ahead and been able to hit a timing overall. His composition was really weird. He made so many stalkers. It's really old style PvP to make that many stalkers.
And Patience just massed immortals.
He just made a bunch of immortals and adepts, and it's like, okay.
You were actually asking, why that last fight was so heavily in Patience's favor. I want to go back and see how effective those DTs were, because even you mentioned
that was a
no
big
observer,
deal as well.
which meant that those DTs kind of went to town. Now, we get to see, okay, good to cancel that shade on those adepts, and Zest should be able to save these. Run away! He who fights and runs away can run away another day.
Very, very true. Yeah, he's going to commit here. There's a probe about to make a Nexus. That would have been nice if he sniped it, but unfortunately not going to be able to.
You know what you call a really annoying probe who wears his hat backwards, wears muscle shirts, and drinks too much?
What do you call him?
A probe.
A probe? I knew it was going to be a probe. I wanted to let you have that moment. So I'm like, yeah.
Why, thank you. This is why Brendan is so fun to cast with.
I'm the support caster, man. I make your jokes, I enhance them by 25%. I try to drive the punchline home. I'm like, what is it, Rapid? I'm massaging your shoulders as you're telling the joke.
So
I'm like,
good, Brendan.
Yeah. You're like bouncing up in your chair. You're like, oh, it's a probe.
It's like every time somebody makes like a good comment about me somewhere on the internet, and everybody's like, yeah, I love that guy too. Isn't he great? I'm just imagining all of this. I'm sure it happens somewhere out there. But let's take a look at this early adept shenaniganry coming out from Zest. See if we can put some pressure. Turns out they actually kill sentries pretty quickly, but should be able to clear up that one adept. It's here, this Oracle, all by his lonesome.
I think
that pylon's still overcharged, man.
Yeah.
You do not want to go back there.
He wanted to force the overcharge, which he did, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough anyway to get in there and do the damage. So we're gonna just transition into a pretty standard game here. Both these players got their next eye pretty quickly. It's just that Patience, Patience got the robotics facility earlier, whereas Zest did get that Stargate out and still has that Oracle here.
Yep, Oracle now, 2 of them here, although a lot of Stalkers might make those a little bit less effective. And you can see a big push out here by Patience, but actually, good. Nice force fields there, but how effective will these Oracles be? Running into double overcharges, loses 1. There's still, there's no more energy left there in the Mothership Core, but there are enough Stalkers here to be able to take care of that Oracle. Nope, makes it out alive with that one, but a big push up the middle of the map by Patience.
This is the really scary thing. He got that early robotics facility mainly just for the Warp Prism. He knew with the build that Zest is going for it that he's not going to have a lot of ground units, and it looks like he wants to go for the ramp with the sentries here. Let's see if he can do it.
So good pull there by Zest. He's got his forces in the main, so that force fielding that ramp will not be incredibly effective, but with his Warp Prisms out, how effective will these sentries be?
Well, he gets this elevator up into the main, and
he will.
There is a lot of energy on the Mothership Core, and he does have 1 Immortal here. Definitely going to help out. He's even going to pull probes here, but really nice force fields to zone Zest out for now.
Great force field there, and the Guardian Shield up. Here come the probes, but they will be need to use very, very effectively, very carefully, as now the probes pulled from the natural as well.
Oh, and that Mothership Core just barely survives here. Another warp in from Patience, a couple of Adepts. The probes really helping out, but he's losing so many of them.
Well, the Immortal's targeting the Adepts, not the Stalkers, so that's not going to be the most effective use there. Oracle goes down, and Patience just going to pull back. He's got 2 Stalkers in the back just to hit these workers a little bit more. Or not. Those are just going to die. But either way, he does get out with his Warp Prism and is now going for round number 2.
I don't think he can continue this push, not with 2 Immortals out here. He had that timing and he killed a lot of probes. I think he should just go back and transition. Maybe with the Adepts, I like only the Adepts to do some pressure to the economy. That's exactly what he's going to do here. So nice
burning all that Mothership Core energy as well, with some nice Stalker pressure, just continuing to harass Zest and keep that pressure on.
Now take a look at the probe counts. It's 37 to 26. So Patience really far ahead now, and continuing actually to put on pressure here.
Warp Prisms are like that friend you invite over to your house who just never ever leaves. So annoying.
And then he comes back after he leaves. He's like, "Oh, I forgot my wallet."
Yeah, and you're just like sitting there playing StarCraft, and you like hear something behind you, and you look, and you turn around. It's like, "What are you doing there?" That's kind of the reaction to these.
And he brought all his friends too.
It's like, why are you guys here? And then he like warps his friends inside him and runs away. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so the analogy breaks down, but here finally we get a counter Warp Prism from Zest coming out across Frozen Temple to start that harassment on the second base, which is called the Natural as well. All right, both of the Immortals dropping out, not really accomplishing all that much, but here comes in yet another attempt at harassing with this Warp Prism. Good warp in there by Zest.
And just to deter him, he's actually going for a Phoenix now. I think he's only going to commit to 1 here just to push that Warp Prism out, maybe 2. I think it would be not the best. Maybe he tries to mix it into his composition if he thinks Patience is going to go very Immortal heavy and he wants to lift a bunch of them. But generally, he would have started them a little bit earlier on. So probably just going to be 1 to push away that Warp Prism.
Good way to keep that in check. Now, which player is going to be the first to throw down their 3rd bases? You really want to make sure that you are in control enough of the game where you can defend before you invest that many resources. There's actually really interesting positioning to drop those Immortals down, trying to take out that overcharged pylon, but Zest harass has been remarkably ineffective.
I'm not sure if he clicked that building, but that building that's warping in there is actually the Templar archives here from Patience, so that would have been not only a good scout, but also some nice harass there.
Well, Zest is going to go for a Templar archives of his own. It's just a Dark Templar. 1.
Yeah, I love these small harassments by Zest to pick off 1 unit after 1 unit and just try to keep himself in the game, even though, he did sustain a little bit of damage early on.
Still, was down a lot in workers, now is caught back up in that regard, and he's actually doing a little bit of damage here with these Immortals, continually able to harass because Patience is not committed to anything like a Phoenix to push that Warp Prism away.
And it's so smart too, because you see that Patience had to back off once he saw that Phoenix, but when there's no blink on the map, when both players don't get a chance to go into blink, this is just so effective. You can continuously take trades like this, and
no
it's
anti-air except
so
Stalkers,
good.
and those die to Immortals so quickly.
Yeah, and they don't have blinks, so they can't get on top of the Warp Prism. So you can just keep on microing, saving the Warp Prism, just picking up the Immortals when they start to lose their health.
Yep, let those shields recharge, and here come 4 Dark Templar. They're about to be in Patience's base.
Looks like Zest didn't actually see those units, but his army is out of position
well, there's
here.
a shade into the mineral line. This is actually going to get quite a few probe kills, so he needs to pull back from this. In the meantime, here come the DTs into both of Patience's bases. 2 in the main, 2 in the third, and this is actually could do a lot of damage there. The harassment cleared up there in Zest's base, and oh my god, these DTs are actually doing a lot of damage.
There's only one observer on the map for both players, so Patience just has to go for the fight now. That's his only choice, but where's the observer? It's with this army, so he can't use DTs to defend.
Okay, that's actually really big. A shade in here from Patience. Will he win? He's got more Immortals. He's got the Archons morphing in the back. And I think Patience just has enough here to crush Zest.
Oh, and it looks like Zest actually lost his one observer there, so it's not like Zest could even try to snipe one of these observers and just go for DTs. Patience going to take the big fight here, even though his economy back at home is in shambles.
I mean, Patience is going to lose 1, if not both of his, or 2 of his Nexi, but this is just an incredible army there.
Much. GG.
Patience. You got to know when to hold them and know when to bust your opponent's natural.
That's wow. I mean, Zest, he goes for the DTs. He was behind Dark Shrine, but Patience just with the perfect response. Even though he didn't make all that many observers, he kept it in the right spot so that he could continuously pressure. And Patience with the third base, even though he lost 2 bases of mining, he killed one of the only 2 bases mining that Zest had, and he killed the army as well. So there was no way for Zest to come back in that game.
Right, and while those Dark Templar were incredibly effective, you got to keep yourself from dying at the same time. So Zest had an idea about how to get back into the game, but Patience was kind of forced into winning there, because if he hadn't, he had no base to go back to. So very, very well played there, and Patience takes yet another game.
And Zest, I mean, this is the second individual league in a row now where it's like he's on the ropes, and he has to do some crazy comeback to come back, and he's done it before, but now it's a PvP. Now it's not a PvT versus Tasia, a guy who wasn't really practicing towards the end of his career in StarCraft 2. This is Patience, who is going crazy right now and playing so well.
We'll see if Zest can survive when we come back from this commercial break. So tell your friends to tune in the SSL, cheer on Zest, and see if he can make it further after we come back from this commercial break.